This is an activity that I did with 4th grade students to teach them cardinal and intermediate directions. Students will need a compass or a map with a compass rose. You can set this up in an open field, parking lot, or a large room like a gym or cafeteria. Students should be put in groups of 3 or 4. Each group will have a number. The groups will then proceed from station to station in the order directed on their paper. Each group will have a different order to go in. As they arrive at each cardinal or intermediate direction, there will be a sheet with codes written on it. They are to look at the letter beside the corresponding number for their group. For example, Group 1 will only look at the letter that goes with 1. Group 5 will only record the letter next to the number 5, and so on. When students have visited all of the cardinal and intermediate directions in order and have recorded the letters next to their group number, it will spell a word. The words will be listed at the end of the video. Just to keep things straight myself, I listed the direction at the bottom of each code page: SE for southeast, NW for northwest, SW for southwest, and so on. However, when I placed these codes out in the field in the proper locations, I tore off the part at the bottom because I wanted my students to use the word to help them determine whether or not they had arrived at the right point. If the word did not make sense, then perhaps what they thought was southwest might not be southwest. Depending on the level of comfort of your students with using cardinal and intermediate directions, you may want to leave those letters at the bottom so that they can double check when they arrive. This is how I set the whole thing up. We were out at our local nature center, and I had a big empty field. I bagged the codes in Ziploc bags and jabbed a skewer through them and spread them out around the field. I used the compass on my phone to determine the directions and placed the north bag at the north point, south at south, and so on, until I had 8 bags around in a circle. I had 9 groups, so I had 9 sets of directions. Each group was given 1 slip of paper. So Group 5, in this case, would proceed from northwest to south to southeast, and so on. Group 6, on the other hand, would go from southwest to northwest to south, and so on, recording the letters next to their numbers as they went. After a brief review of using the compass or the compass rose on a map, I turned them loose. Students traveled from place to place. Some groups needed more assistance. Some liked to come and check with me after each letter to make sure they had it right. Other groups understood so well that they finished one puzzle. I had to give them another group's number, and they did another and another.
Okay, you got it this time?
Yeah,
can we have our new paper? You want to be Group 3? Yeah.